Hi guys, and welcome back to the Divine Witch. We are going to do planets and their corresponding. I'm going to share, if it'll let me, my screen, so that way you guys can see what I see when I talk about this. Hopefully you guys are doing good. We are doing great over here, as best as we can. So what we're going to go over today is we're going to go over planet correspondence and how to use all the planets for your magical workings, along with what herbs, what colors, what metals, everything that is associated with that planet. And we're going to go over one planet at a time, so grab your chips and grab your Coke because it's going to be a long one. So the first planet that we are going to do, we are actually going to be doing Jupiter. So with Jupiter, its zodiac is traditionally Sagittarius and Pisces. But over the years, and you'll find this more common, especially when Pluto became not a planet and then some of the zodiacs changed and another one got added, or there's another planet that's been added, and it gets crazy and they evolve. And this is what I've always stuck to. I've also included links for different herbs and stones because I can only do so much when I do the presentations. So it gives you a little bit more context for in the future. So for metals, we got tin. Tin can be used in your ritual. It can be used as, let's say you get a tin can. You put water in it or whatever herb or mixture or burn your herbs in and you're using that tin. You could also make a wand out of tin. It's up to you on how you want to incorporate the metal itself into your ritual. Now, if you're doing healing work, the organ that is associated with Jupiter is the liver. If you're doing any of work, like for instance, let's say you're doing a healing puppet, you're going to want to do this around Jupiter's day, which I believe is Tuesday, but we'll find that out later. Spells you can do, by the way, these spells are just a few. If you look, you will find a lot more you can do with Jupiter. We've got wealth, health, business, education, miracles, and traveling. Now the elements is kind of a toss-up. It can either be fire or water. Now for your herbs and stones, you're going to get more than herbs and stones. You're going to get herbs, stones, colors, different names for them, different associations for them. And you'll find that out as you go. Now, if you look down here, this is the actual symbol for Jupiter. Our next planet is going to be Mars. Mars is an Aries and Scorpio association. The light side being your Aries and the darker side being your Scorpio. Iron is a metal that is consistent with Mars. The organ is arteries. Now spells, you'll notice that you'll have multiple planets that all have the same thing. But what I always tell my students is if Mars for you is all about war and nothing more, then that's the kind of spell work you do with Mars. But for me, Mars is a love, a strength, a leadership, confidence, and lustful planet. So that's what I associate, and that's the type of spell work I do when it comes to Mars. With the elements, you got fire and water once again, and there is also another link. Now you'll notice alchemyworks.com/planets is my site when it comes to all things planetary. So now we got the sun. The sun is associated with Aries and Leo. Now, when it comes to the colors, it depends on what era that you go in. Like the Babylonians, I think for the sun had yellow. Some have gold. Some have red. It just depends on what feels right for you. The organ that is associated with it is the heart. And, you know, we've always heard the fire within the heart of the beast. And to me, that's always stuck. When I work with the sun, I work for happiness. I work for myself, wealth, abundance, to work on the ego, to bring things to light. And it is a fire planet. So it is associated with the element of fire. Our next planet is the moon. It is associated with Cancer and Taurus. Its metal is silver. Now, if you're like me and you love sterling silver, then you can use your rings that you wear, and any of these, actually, any of the metals, you can make amulets out of any metal that you want, or find one that's already been made with it. Please make sure that you avoid pewter. Pewter is not on any of these planets as far as the metal association. Make sure you know where you're getting it from, or DIY. Now, for the organs, the brain and the ovaries are associated with the moon. For spell work, I always do my intuition work, my divination, astral, emotion, memories, protection, banishing. And with the moon, there's different times and different phases of the moon, which we will eventually cover on this page. And even those have different times where you should do different spells, if you stick to an astrological sense. Now, if it's a full moons are like the be-all, do-all. It doesn't matter when, where, or how. That's when you can do any type of work that you're wanting to do. And the element is water. Now, we got Mercury, which is associated with Gemini and Virgo. Now, I put Quicksilver because Quicksilver is what I know it as. And it's actually Mercury as well. So if you don't know what it is, look it up. You can even buy it. Please be careful, though, when you do. You can even make jewelry out of it. So cute. So when it comes to the organs, you've got your lungs and your nerves. Now, during this epidemic of COVID-19, a lot of people have been trying to work with Mercury to get its healing powers and to use the association with the planet Mercury. Spells that can be done with Mercury: binding, healing, speech, communication, and reasoning. Air and earth are associated with this planet. Now we got Venus. Venus it just depends on where you go. I've seen some say that it's a Libra planet. Some say it's got Scorpio, because Scorpio, the dark side of love. Pisces for the emotional side. I say all three because it's a balance. Copper is the metal of choice when working with Venus. Your organs are your kidneys when it comes to Venus. Spells, material possessions, love, lust, envy, mind control, taste, or just pure control. These are your options when it comes to Venus, at least with what I do. Now, the elements: earth, air, and water. And honestly, I would even throw fire in there because we all need a little bit of heat every now and then. Now we got Saturn. And by the way, each of these symbols that you see are actually the planet symbols. So just so you know. So for Saturn, we got Aquarius and Gemini. And the metal is lead. Organ is your spleen and your veins. Spells would be about balance, justice, karma, goals, ethics, boundaries, or even to help with anxiety. Air and earth are the two elements. And as far as urban stones, I would suggest going to alchemyworks.com/planets_ and just put Saturn at the end instead of Venus, because I forgot to do that, and it happens. Neptune, that is our next planet, and it is controlled by Pisces. The metal is cobalt, which, by the way, I didn't know that cobalt was a metal until today, and it is really pretty. Organs is glands and endocrine. Spells, it's a variety. Dreams, intuition, mysticism, delusions. Be careful, kids. Imagination, trickery, compassion, emotions, addiction, creative, and ideals. Same thing goes with Neptune when it comes to herbs and stones. Just go up to Alchemy Works and just where it does after the underscore, type in your planet. For Uranus, We have Zodiac is Aquarius. Metal is uranium. Organ, unknown. So if it were me, I would use it to whatever I thought would rhyme with Uranus. You know? Something to bite him back in the butt kind of thing, you know? Spells, thoughts, creativity, control, insight, and unknown. Now, when it comes to herbs and stones, I've already gave you the website to use and how to use it. So now we got Pluto. The Zodiac is a Scorpio. Metal is bismuth. Genitals and testes are the organs. Spells would be sex magic, mental health, death, rebirth, healing, and transformation. And once again, here you have alchemyworks.com/planets_Pluto.html. Now, it doesn't matter what planet you put here, you're always going to get information, and they're a good source for it. Now we're going to go with days that planets are associated with. This is one of the most basic common things that you learn when you first start getting into magic. Especially if you get the huge books with witchcraft for every day. It'll go over the basics and give you the rest. For those of you who don't know, Monday is associated with the moon. Tuesday is Mars. Wednesday is Mercury. Thursday is Jupiter. Friday is Venus. Saturday is Saturn. And Sunday is the sun. Now, when it comes to house associations, every house has a planet association. So, for the first house is Mars, second, Venus, third is Mercury, fourth is Moon, fifth is the Sun, sixth is Mercury, seventh is Venus, 8 is Pluto, 9 is Jupiter, 10th is Saturn, 11th Uranus, and 12th is Neptune. Now, as far as the signs, it can change, but these are the ones that it's been set for forever. It just depends on the hour, the day, night or morning. It just depends on you. And you can actually look that up online. Now, this is additional resources. Colors, numbers, and names. I'm going to go ahead and click on that, see if it'll let me share. So, with this one, you're going to see it has codes for each one, for each of the planets, and that lets you know which one you're looking at. It'll tell you numbers that are associated with the planet, colors that have been associated with the planet, and names that have been associated with the planet. So what this does is whenever you're creating a spell, it gives you names that you can associate, or power words, as some may say, to put into your spell work for that certain planet. So it really helps you out. I'm pretty sure there's more than just what the site shows, but it is a pretty good beginning point for you to try. And let's go down to our resources again. That's the little notes. All right, we're going to do medical, and I'm going to open that up in a new tab. All right, so for medical, there is so much on this website. I would highly recommend going to it. It's even got this little printout, which I printed out and have in my spell room. And it'll give you different things. It'll give you, what Zodiac's associated with it. And then here's where you got your planet associations, diseases, medical astrology, planets with it, diseases, characteristics, designs. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. You could literally spend hours. And even after this one, if you would actually research it, that's when you're going to start getting, the hours and stuff like that. It'll even talk about different vegetables and stuff that you can use, different herbs as well. And then it'll go more and more in depth into it. And I love how these look. They're just so pretty. And it makes any magical book or any spell room look perfect with them up. And you just learn some history. That's what it's about. You know, people look at witchcraft as like it's a one all be all, but in reality, it's not. You're always going to be learning, it's always going to be continuous. So we're going to go back to our third one, which is signs. So planets of astrology, it kind of goes into what each one is, what you can learn from it. And then you got the signs of the Zodiac, which most of us pretty much know at this point in our lives. Now, you'll notice that they don't have the newest one on. Me personally, I don't really look at the newest one, but some may. So this may not be right for the one that they just added. And then we've got the houses as well. We've got the first house all the way to the 12th house, and that'll give you a little bit more information on it. And then the oppositions, and things like that nature. And that could be of help as well. I'm going to go ahead while I'm on here and click on one of these sites so you guys kind of get an idea of what to do. Go over here. Nope, that was not it. Was that it? Yes, that's it. All right, so if you look at Pluto and the correspondence, you'll have over here the associations with it. You've got Hades, the planetary signs, stones, plants. By the way, this is not all the plants. So keep on looking, kids. Colors, time, quantities. You got body parts and aspects, being, sense, drugs, if that's your thing, places, music, and different types of magic that you can also do as well. Now, as I was telling you earlier, since for some of them, I didn't actually include the link. Let's do, for instance, Neptune. See, it's that simple. And you can go down and it'll give you all the information with Neptune and all that as well. And then you can go here and it gives you all of your planets. And then you also got your elements, so earth, air, fire, water. Let's go water because that's what I am. And then it gives you like water plants, signs, stones, colors, times, animal association, being, sense, and drugs if, like I said, that's your thing. Places you can go, music, and different types of magic. So this is a really good site to have in your online book of shadows, and it will definitely come in handy. So I'm going to go down to my closing statement. For this slide, you have seen the information on how to harness the planets. As many, with any area, you know, there's vast information like I was talking to you guys about. And if you keep on digging, you're going to find more information. Some things may call to you out more than others, and that's fine. These are basic aspects of the planets, and you can go more into depth as far as the reading goes. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. I will also, in the future, we will be talking about moon and moon phases and things like that. And I'm also going to go through each planet as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. And I want to thank you for coming here today and supporting us. If you want to donate to our Patreon, that helps put us a little bit more closer to getting our 501. I will create the link down below for you guys. Thank you so much. Please be safe. And as always, blessed be.